Hello there, and welcome. I'm Professor Paws, and today we're going to sharpen our grammar claws on a tiny little word that, believe me, packs a really big punch.
Okay, let's start with a simple sentence. It's a fact. The cat made this explainer. Pretty straightforward, right? But just watch what happens when we add one little word.
See that? The cat himself made this explainer. The basic meaning is still the same, but that one word, himself, it adds this whole new layer. It's like saying, yeah, no kidding, the cat actually did it all by himself. It adds emphasis.
So you might be thinking, what's the deal with that extra word? I mean, the sentence worked just fine without it, didn't it? Well, it might seem a little unnecessary, but that word has a secret job, and we're going to figure out what it is. That little word is what we call an intensive pronoun, and honestly, the best way to think about it is like a highlighter for your sentence. Its entire job is to put a spotlight on a noun or another pronoun just to make it stand out a bit more. So here's the official breakdown. It's a pronoun that ends in self or selves, and its whole purpose is emphasis. Now, the most important thing to get here is that it's not essential. You could take it out and the sentence would still make perfect grammatical sense. It's like bonus material for your sentence. And here they are, the whole gang. You've got myself, yourself, himself, and so on. You'll notice they all end in self if they're singular and selves if they're plural. These are the little highlighters you'll be looking for. All right, now here's where things get a little tricky. You see, our intensive pronouns have an identical twin, a word that looks exactly the same but has a totally different job. And yeah, this is where a lot of people get tangled up.
And this chart really lays it all out. The twin is called a reflexive pronoun. See, in she taught herself to code, herself is essential. It's receiving the action of the verb taught. But in she herself taught the class, herself is just that spotlight operator pointing back at she for emphasis.
But don't you worry, because Professor Paws has a secret weapon for you, and it is absolutely foolproof. It's called the removal test. It's just 3 super simple steps to tell you exactly what kind of pronoun you're dealing with.
Okay, you ready to try it out? Let's take this sentence. The mayor herself appeared at the rally. We found our pronoun herself. Now for step 2. We just take it out. So what happens?
Let's think about it. If you just read, the mayor appeared at the rally, does that work? Is it a complete thought? Does it still make sense? Yes, it absolutely does. The sentence is perfectly fine without it. That tells us that herself was just there for extra punch, for emphasis. So boom, it's an intensive pronoun. Easy, right?
All right, let's try one more just to make sure we've really got this down. Ben built a boat for himself. Okay, our target word is himself. Let's pull it out of the sentence and see what we're left with.
Without it, we get Ben built a boat for who? The sentence just stops. It's broken, it's incomplete. The word himself is totally necessary to finish the thought, and that's our big clue that this one is a reflexive pronoun. See the difference? Okay, so now that you're a certified pronoun detective, let's talk about how to actually use them. Because where you put them in a sentence can actually change the specific type of emphasis you're creating. Check this out. It's a really subtle shift, but it's powerful. When you say, the students themselves completed it, you're emphasizing who did it, not the teachers, not the parents. But if you say, the students completed it themselves, now you're emphasizing how they did it, without any help. Cool, huh? Language is always changing and evolving, which is pretty amazing. Take the word themself. It's now very commonly used as a singular pronoun. This is so useful when a person is non-binary, or maybe you just don't know their gender, or maybe it's just not relevant. It's a perfect example of how language adapts to be more clear and more inclusive. Now, to really become a master, I have to warn you about a few common traps. I like to call them catastrophes. Let's make sure you know how to avoid them. First mistake is a really simple one: mismatching. The pronoun has to agree with the noun it's emphasizing. So if your noun is plural, like students, the pronoun also has to be plural, themselves. You can't say the students himself, it just doesn't work.
And the second trap is just overuse. Remember, these things are highlighters. And what happens if you highlight every single word on a page? Well, nothing stands out anymore, right? It's the same idea here. Too many intensive pronouns just makes your sentence clunky. Use them carefully to get the most impact.
So let's do a quick recap. We figured out what intensive pronouns are.
We know how to tell them apart from their tricky reflexive twins using our secret weapon, the removal test. And we know how to place them just right for the perfect amount of emphasis.
So, why does all this matter? Well, the bottom line is that these little words are an incredibly valuable tool. When you master them, you can be more precise, more persuasive, and just make your meaning crystal clear, whether you're writing or speaking.
So you've officially added a new superpower to your communication toolkit, which of course leaves us with one final thing to think about. We've seen how these tiny pronouns can completely change the feel of a sentence, so what other small words out there do you think pack the biggest punch? Something to ponder.